cards and like trying to sell. We had like $2 cards that going up, and we did like $2 starts.
Hey, good morning and welcome into the program. This is the Tom Barfield Show. We're glad you're with us as we get rolling on a Tuesday. Got a great show for you here today. We're going to talk Baylor women's basketball with the voice of the Baylor women's basketball team, Derek Smith. We'll also get into some Baylor baseball as the Bears went down to Houston over the weekend. And now look ahead to a busy week in Baylor baseball this week. They've got Tarleton State tonight on the road in Stephenville. And then the Air Force Academy will be in over the weekend. Friday games on Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon. And from what I'm being told, there's going to be a flyover on Saturday from the Air Force. So I'm really, really excited about that and looking forward to that. But we are presented today, as always, by Toe King of Waco, Gary Hoffman and his team. And we're excited to have Gary and his group on board with us here for the Tom Barfield Show. So we're glad you're with us. Also coming up with the program, and I'm super stoked about this, Marcus Willis, the head basketball coach of La Vega, is going to join us. Marcus and his squad play tonight against Davenport down in the greater Austin area. I believe it's at Rouse High School in Leander, and they're playing for the right to play for a state championship. Fourth straight year that they have been in the semifinals or in the state tournament, and look in ninth overall in program history. So that's pretty exciting stuff. So that's kind of what we have for you. Lark Smith is alongside. Good morning, Lark. How are you?
I'm just fine. You say you're going to Tarleton?
Yes, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking Jake and Dorothy's, aren't you?
Sure, but I'm also thinking I've been there already this year.
Yeah.
You and Derek are going to be very intimate this tonight.
Really?
It's not a large area for visiting radio.
Huh. Well, it's get to know you night on tonight for the broadcast, on the radio broadcast tonight for Derek Smith and I. So we'll do that.
Well, one of you may have to stand.
Well, that's okay. I think Derek can handle that.
I figured that's a you.
So, anyway, we're glad you're with us here this morning. We got a lot to get to and a lot of fun stuff. So what's I know you went on the road last night with McLennan baseball, and you played Seminole at a neutral site? You went to DBU?
Played Seminole State at Dallas Baptist at Horner Park. And boy, what a beautiful ballpark they've got at Dallas Baptist. It's just such a wonderful facility. But let's see. Seminole State, I looked at their stats before the game.
Yeah.
And they had already used 27 pitchers.
How many they used last night?
They used 11 last night. And the first one.
Oh, they got plenty in the tank then, right?
Yeah. And the first one was their 28th arm they've used this year. That's a lot. And that's just in 17 games or 18 games now.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was a slugfest. Final of 14-11. The Highlanders come from behind with 6 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning to win 14-11. There was like 41 base runners in the game. Both teams had their team batting average increase. Seminole came in hitting 336, hit 336, and now they're hitting 339 as a team. McLennan raised their team batting average by 5 points. It was a slugfest, but McLennan wins their record to 11-2 now on the year with the win, and now they're going to start conference play Wednesday at home. Now, those of you
hang on a second. The schedule says they're on the road Wednesday.
Well, because there is rain forecast for North Texas.
Yeah.
They decided to flip it. So they're going to play at home Wednesday, noon doubleheader Wednesday. Then Saturday they will go to Grayson. I looked at the weather forecast, and it's saying it's going to rain here, there, and everywhere between Wednesday and Saturday. So, it's baseball.
Well, we'll figure all that out. So, anyway, that's the deal there. The Highlanders went on the road and got a win. So that is really, really good stuff. And then as Lark mentioned, they will be at home on Wednesday, not on the road. So mark your calendar for that. And Lev's got a good club, doesn't he?
Oh, he's got an outstanding club. It really, the pitching staff is what is the most impressive thing about it. He's finally got some hitters that are starting to come around. But right now, what is impressive about that pitching staff is they do not allow a great deal of free bases. And you know how much free bases count in college.
Mitch Thompson preaches, and Coach Snedeker preaches about those free bases all the time over at Baylor. So good stuff there. So we are off and running. We are glad you're with us. It is a Tuesday edition of the program. And as we mentioned, we are brought to you in part by, we're presented by Toe King, Gary Hoffman and his crew. So nobody wants to be stuck on the side of the road. But if you are, then Toe King Well, that's the folks to call. I mean, they're going to take care of you. They offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators, high caliber equipment. We were there a couple of weeks ago, and I went to watch them film the commercials for Tow King, and I just thought it was cool to see from the regular tow truck that you normally see for a car all the way up to those big vehicles that can bring in an 18-wheeler, and they do it all the time, and they do it with proficiency. They've done this once or three times. So again, none of us want to be stuck on the side of the road, but if you are, then reach out to Tow King, and you can always check them out online too, and on Facebook rather, and make contact with Gary and his gang. Give them a call if you need them. They're there for you 24/7. And again, thanks to Tow King for being a presenting sponsor of this program. We're off and running. Again, it is Derek Smith coming up in a few minutes and Marcus Willis from La Vega High School in the second half hour of the program. This is the Tom Barfield Show, and we're right back with more in just a moment.
Morrison's Gifts, Waco's oldest family-owned gift store, wants to ask a question to the guys out there. Don't you just love gift giving? Does John Hart, Consuela, or Jellycat mean anything to you? If not, at Morrison's, we have your answers and your back. For 47 years, we have guided men and you ladies through the trauma of selecting the right gift for the right person. Come and see us at 4312 West Waco Drive in the Brazos Square Center, close to Jason's Deli. That's Morrison's Gifts, owned by a proud Baylor Bear.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
Bumblebee Blinds of Waco and Temple is your one-stop shop for custom window treatment, transforming your vision into reality. Choose from a selection of shades, blinds, shutters, and curtains. Bumblebee Blinds stands behind our service and products, ensuring peace of mind with our trusted warranty. Call Bumblebee Blinds today to schedule your design consultation. Bumblebee Blinds, simplifying window treatments one covering at a time. BumblebeeBlinds.com.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over. Hey, welcome back. This is the Tom Barfield Show, and I failed to mention our parent company, Rogue Media, is in the process of not only starting this show, but in the process of moving. We're moving down Austin Avenue, and we're trying to get the building set up and all that kind of fun stuff. So you may hear a little banging because they're building offices and stuff like that. But our permanent studio or set, if you will, is not ready. But so we want to thank Ben and Kevin from Collectum. This is a cool place. I mean, if you like collectibles, this is the place to come. I mean, there is some cool stuff. And I'm not going to mention any names, but we got some Baylor baseball players in here checking it out right now. I understand there's a lot of Baylor athletes like to come in because it's a cool place to hang out.
Certainly.
It is a cool place to hang out. So, come by. They're open Monday through Saturday, and you can check it. And closed. No, I'm sorry, they're closed on Monday, but they're open Monday through Tuesday through Saturday. So you can come check them out here. It is Collectum again, and it's right here on Austin Avenue. All right, let's talk some Baylor women's basketball. Let's talk some Baylor baseball. We welcome into the program my buddy Derek Smith. Derek, good morning. How are you?
Hey, Tom. Good to visit with you. Doing well. And let me say as we start, congrats on the launch of the show. That's exciting. I know people are glad to hear your voice talking about what's going on around here again in this format. So I'm glad to be on with you.
I appreciate your time as always and look forward to talking some sports as we make that 90-mile drive north to Stephenville this afternoon.
Yeah, nice little country drive for some baseball tonight after being down in Houston, a little smaller venue, but nice opportunity for the Bears to get back to it today against Tarleton.
We'll circle back to that in just a minute. I want to begin with Coach Nicky's team. Sunday, I had it pulled up. It was really kind of bumpy in the beginning, right? I mean, you only had 15 at the half.
That's right. You look at that game. I think what's tough is the defense, really like it's been all year long, was good enough to win the game. I mean, you hold TCU, team that averages 85 points at home this year, to 65 points overall, 20 points below their season average, and 26 points in the first half, but you can only score 15. And so it was just really a slow start. Talia Scott, your all Big 12, potentially All-American type performer. She misses her first 11 shots and is 0 from the field in the opening half, and that really set the tone. If she's even just 2 for 11 for her first 11, you're talking about a game that's probably 2 or 3 possessions going in the latter stages rather than being a double digit deficit. And that's what was tough, because the defense, like it really has all year, played really well, and the offense just never really got going. And it's tough. You really, not that the offense can't play well if Talia Scott doesn't have a big game, but I think in that environment, when she got off to a slow start and no one else stepped up, it just sort of put them behind the 8 ball the rest of the way.
You mentioned Talia Scott. She finishes with 17, so obviously a big second half.
Mm-hmm. She did. She hit her first field goal in the latter stages of the third quarter, in the waning seconds. And then she had 5 more field goals in the fourth quarter. So made it interesting. Baylor cut it to 8. Had the ball with a chance to cut it to 6 or 5 with a 3 and turn the ball over, and then never got any closer than that. And it was just tough because I think that slow start, TCU's too good of a team offensively, with Olivia Miles, who's a 3-time All-American, all these transfers they brought in, Marta Suarez, who's a 17-point per game scorer. I think when you're behind, they're a hard team to come back against because they've got so many players who can hit tough shots. And I think that's where Baylor found themselves in that game, just a little too far behind. And despite a strong effort in the second half, just couldn't get any closer than 8.
Visiting with Derek Smith, the voice of Baylor women's basketball, the voice of Baylor baseball, and my broadcast partner for baseball. Derek, you've been around this game. You've been around the basketball game a long time. In a lot of times, it's matchups. And how do you see Baylor and TCU? How does that matchup work for Coach Nicky's team?
I think the game in Waco notwithstanding, when Miles went off for 40 points, I think Baylor is really up to the challenge. I mean, you look, it's a strange thing because there's Baylor's on a 5-game losing streak to TCU. So right now you have to hand it to them. They've got the upper hand in this rivalry. And when you look at the players they've had, they brought in Haley Van Lith and Sedona Prince, 2 All-American type players last season, and this year they bring in Olivia Miles and Marta Suarez. They have the most dominant scorers on the floor not named Talia Scott. Now, Talia Scott has brought a wrinkle to this because obviously, Sunday notwithstanding, she's an elite scorer, 20 and a half points per game. Baylor's defense has really been up to the challenge. I think, honestly, it's just been getting that big shot or that big stop in key moments. Last year, the 3 losses to TCU were all essentially one possession. In 2 of the 3 games, Baylor had a shot to tie it or win it late. This year, it hasn't been quite that close, and yet you look, in Waco, if Olivia Miles doesn't go off for 40, it's a close ball game. And in Fort Worth yesterday or on Sunday, if Talia Scott has anything close to her normal game, then I think you're talking about a much closer game going into the fourth quarter with a chance to win, and maybe the pressure shifts to TCU. I think TCU has the upper hand right now, but I think Baylor matches up well. The challenge is, I think Baylor really need everyone on the floor to, if not play their absolute best, you really need every place on the floor to be strong. And I think that wasn't the case on Sunday.
Is this a good break? There's from the end of the season Sunday to the start of the Big 12 tournament on Friday, there's a few days off. I would imagine Coach Nicky's going to give them a little time off, and then they'll play either. Well, I mean, it could be one of three teams. So Kansas and Central Florida are going to play. That winner will then take on Colorado. That winner will then take on Baylor. So essentially a double bye for the Bears going into the Big 12 tournament.
I think that is really good for this team, and we're not the only team that's played something like this, but there was a stretch of 5 games in 12 days at the end of the regular season, and it's a sprint to the finish. And I think everyone feels the fatigue anyway. It's like any sport. Everyone's a little banged up at the end of the year. And I think for the Bears, that double bye is nice. And I also think, now with the men's and women's tournament being separate weeks, there's going to be a little break after that as well. So I think, hopefully the goal is to play 3 games in 3 days in Kansas City, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and win a Big 12 tournament championship. And 3 games in 3 days is a challenge, but I think you also have a break going into it. And then you also know that afterwards you got a little bit of a break to get ready for the NCAA tournament. So I think for women's basketball in the Big 12, that works really well. And I think for this Baylor team, the chance to refocus, to get a little bit of rest. I mean, it was disappointing. I mean, Lori Fogelman, broadcast partner on women's basketball, was down there to interview Nikki afterwards, and she said you could just see the emotion. That was a grueling loss. It was a goal the team had to win a Big 12 regular season championship. I think it's good to have a couple of days to rest and then refocus, because there's another big go ahead. And I tell you what, if the Bears are able to get a Big 12 tournament crown in Kansas City, that would be a pretty good prize.
I would assume, and I'm this is probably a silly question, but they want TCU again, don't they, in KC?
I would think. I haven't asked specifically, but knowing what I know about them, yes, this is a team that wants a big challenge, that wants to go up and beat the best, and so you want that opportunity. Now you can't get too fixated on that, because Colorado, if that's the team that Baylor plays on Friday, is very good. They played Baylor to within 4 points in Waco. They knocked off TCU this year. They had a number of big wins, and Colorado's a team that may be a bubble team for the NCAA tournament, so they have a ton of motivation. And then if you defeat them, you're likely going to face West Virginia, a team that defeated Baylor in Morgantown. So I think you're right. Baylor wants TCU again, but I think we can also stand at and look from this side of things and think you can't think too far ahead, because the top teams in the Big 12 are going to present a real challenge just to get to that point.
Derek, do you like the calendar, the way it's set up? You mentioned now that the tournaments, the men's tournament, the women's tournament have different windows in KC. Now you're going to have this. You had the break. You're going to play the tournament. Then you're going to have a break again. Is this good for not just Baylor, but for women's basketball in general?
Yeah, I think you'll hear different people say different things. I actually like it, and I think for Baylor the last couple of years it's been good. Last year, if you remember, Darion Littlepage-Buggs had a meniscus injury and had missed the last month of the regular season. Well, that extra week gave her more time to heal, and she was able to play in the NCAA tournament, limited minutes, but those extra days help. I think rest-wise, it's going to be good for this team. And I think, this Baylor team is so big on preparation. I think having an extra week to really work on the things they want to work on. And I think, obviously the defense has been excellent this year. The numbers bear that out, both on the perimeter and in the interior. But the offense is the area that's probably, assuming Baylor plays like they're capable of defensively, their ability to step it up on offense is going to determine how far they go. And I think I like the idea of them having that time to work on some things, to install some new things, and just to kind of focus on themselves and what they need to do to get better before heading into the tournament. So you probably find different people say different things. I personally like it for this team.
All right, look into the crystal ball. How many teams does the conference get in, and who has the opportunity, and who should host, in your opinion?
The Big 12 is not getting a lot of respect in a lot of the bracketology predictions. I mean, TCU is going to host, and I would like to think that if Baylor or West Virginia can get to the Big 12 championship game and beat them, I think that you could make a strong argument that team, hopefully Baylor, should also host. That said, I think it would have to, I mean, no one's predicting that I've really seen, but I hope the Big 12 doesn't get enough respect, in my opinion, because there are a lot of really good teams in the upper half that aren't as well known. Iowa State, when they're healthy, is really good. BYU is an improving young team. And I think kind of the middle of the pack in the Big 12 doesn't get the respect that the middle of the pack in the SEC or the Big 10 gets. That said, I think you're probably looking at 6 or 7 teams. I mean, I'd probably say, based on what everyone's predicting, 6. Colorado is kind of right on the bubble there. I'd like to think Iowa State, based on their body of work over time, would get in. So if they do, that's 7 teams. So I'm going to be optimistic, Tom, and say 7, because I think you really deserve that. But I think it would probably really help Iowa State and Colorado to get a big win or two. Hopefully not Colorado, because Baylor would probably be the kind of game that could get them in the tournament. But I think 6 or 7. I'll say 7, but most everyone else is saying 6.
When we talk about hosting, that's big, not only for the basketball team, but that's big for the community. There's teams coming in here to play. Kind of walk us through how that works on the women's side. But it would be beneficial financially for this community if Baylor is able to host games at Foster.
Yeah, you're right, Tom. I think that's something the women's game was smart to figure out, that putting these on-campus sites for the opening weekend is a good way to get fan attendance, to give fans an opportunity to see their team at home one more time, and to really give the top 16 teams a reward, because I think the women's game has grown. Certainly ESPN's coverage and, certainly some of the stars we've seen in recent years, I think, have increased attention on the women's basketball game. And so it might be a little different now if you went to some of these neutral sites than even just a few years ago. But that said, I think the environment is fantastic on campus sites. You have a built-in crowd. And as you said, it's good for the community. I remember last year, Tom, so me being from Indiana originally, Ball State was one of the teams that played here in Waco. And very randomly, some friends of mine from high school had a connection to a player a family on the Ball State team whose daughter played for them. And I just kind of met them there, and they were just raving about Foster Pavilion and Waco and what a great facility Foster was, and how much they enjoyed going to Magnolia and eating some Tex-Mex while they were there. And I just think that kind of stuff is fun. You get a little bit of a peek, sort of how other people do it. And for Waco, I think it's an opportunity for Waco, and for Baylor, it's an opportunity to impress. And I think we do, we impress very well with Foster Pavilion and with, what you can do within a short walking or driving distance from that.
Visiting with Derek Smith. And again, the Big 12 tournament begins, I believe, Wednesday in Kansas City. The Baylor women with a double bye and will not play until Friday. All right, Derek, let's switch our gears and let's talk some Baylor baseball. Mitch Thompson in his 4th year with the program. The club is 6-5, and they have played an unbelievably difficult schedule. I mean, the last 2 weekends, it's kind of been murder's row, hasn't it?
It has. And you look, Max Calderon reminded us in his notes, Baylor Athletic Communications, you have played 4 games against top 8 RPI teams. RPI is that unbiased metric in a lot of ways. The rankings can be all over the place at the beginning of the year, but Baylor's played 4 top 25 teams and 4 teams that are in the top 8 of RPI. Like I've seen Baylor play some really good opening schedules, but I don't know that I've ever seen in 11 games 4 teams in the top 8 that Baylor's played in consecutive weekends. And then you zoom out of that, you've had Purdue and you've had UTSA, and it's been a really challenging schedule. And I think I go back and forth in my mind. Right now Baylor the last 2 weekends is 1-5, and you really would have liked to have been better than that. They've also played very close games, and there's a part of me, Tom, that says, with as young of a team as Baylor is, with the at times 4 freshmen in the starting lineup, you are going to take some lumps when you play teams like that, and that's to be expected, and that's how you grow. And so I think the team has been forced to grow. You kind of throw them in the deep end. The real question becomes, Tom, now is, Baylor plays Tarleton today and then heads into a 8-game homestand that includes the beginning of the Big 12 schedule. You really have to prove, like, the pressure picks up a notch in the sense that you really kind of got to prove you've learned from that and grown from that. And I think we've seen some encouraging signs from some of the younger players, and certainly some of the veterans like Travis Sanders have been steady throughout the year. But the time to kind of take that next step is now. You've challenged yourself against like you said, a murderer's row. Now, in theory, as the competition isn't going to be any harder while still challenging, can you show that you've learned from that? Because I think now's the time as you get into Big 12 that I think the excuses, you kind of need to show what you learned.
I think the one thing that and I don't want to put words in the staff's mouth, but just kind of visiting with them and talking through it, they did not play particularly well defensively in Houston, and they had going into Houston. And I think that was one of the things that they were able to hang their hat on is, they were among the nation's leaders in double plays term because they were so proficient defensively, but they had some issues defensively in Houston. I think that's probably one of the things that's maybe disappointing for the staff right now.
Well, you're right, because you look that Texas game, you take away some of the errors. You're probably talking about a 1-run game maybe going into those latter innings. And I know you can never play if this doesn't happen, everything else plays the same game, but we do in our minds a little bit, at least I do. And you look against Texas, a fantastic team. It's a 5-2 ball game, and you gave them a couple of runs. I think the same thing, you look at, Baylor was able to overcome some of that against, with some walks that set up runs for Ole Miss on Friday. Baylor overcame that. That was good. But the challenge is going to be, you don't have to play perfect. No one plays perfect, but the demands at this level are such that you really need to be strong in all three phases. And, that's the margin between winning and losing a lot of times. And in Big 12 play, that will be the margin between winning and losing.
Derek, I want to give you a heads up. You guys are going to Tarleton today, and I've been up to Tarleton earlier this year, and you're going to have a very intimate press box to be working out of.
Yes.
Tom, if you'll remember when we went to Cal Fullerton years ago, we had a very small box to work at, and I think one of us worked in the stands in front of the press box.
That's correct, and that one wasn't me.
Yeah, I know. So Derek, I just want to give you a heads up. Quite possibly, you might be sitting in the stands or talking about. So
we're going by age. As simple as that.
Fair enough. Well, Lark, it's good to talk to you. It's good to see you in Round Rock a couple of weeks ago. I'll say this: we played at Tarleton in 2023, Mitch's first year here. And, that's a small stadium. It's not fancy. And as you said, the press box is rather intimate. But what I remember is that sat about 1,000 people, and they had about 1,000 people there. And I tell you what, there's something about a full ballpark, no matter what size it is, when the fans are buzzing a little bit, that makes it fun. Baylor won that game. I hope it's a great crowd tonight and a good environment, and Baylor gets it done there. It's you don't always have to play at Dyken Park or Globe Life or Dell Diamond, right? It is kind of fun to take the road show to other campuses and hopefully get a win on their home field. First true road game of the year.
Yeah, well, come do some junior college baseball.
Oh yeah.
All right, hey Derek, they're the Bears are 6-5, and as you mentioned, it was a learning situation. But we all know it's a results-driven business, and you got to win ball games. And what are you looking for? Where's the growth that you think this club needs right now as they head into this 8-game homestand, including in a couple of weeks 3 games with the Mountaineers from West Virginia to open up Big 12 conference play? I'm with you. I don't think there's going to be an arm in this conference that's any better than what they've seen out of the kid from Oregon State or any of those arms that Ole Miss ran out, the arms of Texas. I mean, we've seen some quality arms, but what are you looking for as they get ready to play their final non-conference series this weekend and then head into conference play in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think, and you and I have talked, we kind of know what we're going to get from Travis Sanders. Pearson Reebok's been a little up and down this year, but he's a proven guy, hit over 300 as a freshman last year. I want to see some of these younger guys really start showing that consistency at the plate, whether that's Hunter Snow, who, his batting average isn't that great, but he has maybe the biggest hit of the year against the home run against Ole Miss. And he nearly homered against Oregon State. He was robbed of a home run. You really want to see up and down the lineup. I think we need a little more productivity at the plate from a couple of positions on the field. I'm eager to see whether it's Cade Dodson or Brighton Clements really step up. So I think you want to see more consistency from a few spots in the lineup that you haven't seen it as much yet so far, like third base and center field. You need a little more there. Not that everyone has to hit 300, but true threats all in 1 through 9. And then on the mound, can a few more guys really step into their roles? I think Stefan Stahl has been the pleasant surprise of the season so far. I mean, Coach Thompson said he got better. He got better this past off season, and man, he's shown that in an impressive way against Oregon State and against Ole Miss. Who else can join him there? Zach Wallace has been incredibly impressive in his first year in the Bears, but can we see a couple of other guys really step in that too? Might that be a Luke DeVasier, maybe Luke McLeod? And can guys really get guys out if they come in with runners on? I think that's been probably the difference between a couple of wins and losses in the pen, coming in and, a new reliever shutting out, kind of slamming the door on a team that's trying to mount a rally. You need a little more of that. And really, I think we want to see as we get into late March here, really the month of March in general, Tom, I want to see who are the guys who are going to step up that Coach Thompson, Sean Snedeker, and this staff can really count on. And I think we've seen a few in Travis Sanders and Zach Wallace and Stefan Stahl, who are going to be the guys who join them. I think there's a number of guys who have the chance to do that. And if they do, it would really bode well for this team.
Derek, thanks. I really appreciate you doing this. Appreciate your time, and look forward to our trip north up to the dairy capital of Texas in Erath County in Stephenville. We'll do that this afternoon.
Well, I look forward to the ride, Tom. We can break it all down. We can break it all down even more here, and maybe grab a burger after the game and talk about it all the more. So,
look forward to it. Thanks, Derek. Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
That is Derek Smith from Baylor basketball, Baylor baseball. We appreciate Derek's time as always. Great step there. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to visit with Marcus Willis. He's the head basketball coach at La Vega High School. They're playing the state semifinal matchup tonight against Davenport. We'll talk to Coach Willis about that, get it all broke down for you, get you set up for that game as well. We are live today from Collective on Austin Avenue, and the place is rocking, Lark. I mean, I kind of like this. This is fun.
Absolutely. There's lots of folks milling around out here.
Indeed, and kind of getting some collectibles going on, and that's a lot of fun. We are presented by Toki and brought to you in part by Lake Waco Golf Club. And I love Lake Waco Golf Club. I play out there all the time. My buddy Darren Burrow works out there. And by the way, let me just say this: Darren lost his father this week. The funeral is going on as we speak, and my condolences to the Burrow family. His dad, Truman Burrow. Here's the small world thing. He was my Pee Wee football coach.
Oh, wow.
Just a couple of years ago. It wasn't that long. But anyway.
4 years ago.
Yeah. So my condolences to the Burrow family. But he works out there, and they got an 18-hole golf course. They got the executive par 3. Have you played the par 3 before?
I have not. Well, maybe a long time ago. Yeah, absolutely, it's a challenge.
It's not a pitching wedge in a putt. I mean, you got to whack it sometimes. So it's a fun little challenge. And you'll play every club in your bag, I think, for an old guy like me. But they've got that going on. You can do a tee time and pay as you go, or you can have a membership through Lake Waco, and that provides you some other amenities such as the swimming pool, and then the opportunity to maybe even go fishing out at the lake. They got a lot of tanks out there that they got fish in them. I don't know. I don't know if they're catfish or bass, or I don't know. But they've got them.
Like you say, if it was catching, you'd be out there.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. I mean, if it was catching, I'd go. But it's called fishing, and I don't have the patience. Anyway, but I love to play and play out there all the time. So look forward to that. So you can call them and get a tee time anytime you want, or check them out at lakewacogc.com. And again, don't forget Thursdays. Every Thursday, Jones Mitchell from Lake Waco Golf will join us, and we'll talk golf, whether it's PGA or whether it's local golf or whether it's a tip or whatever. We'll talk golf every Thursday with the folks at Lake Waco Golf Club. All right, we're going to get a break here from Collective, and we're coming right back with more of the Tom Barfield Show in just a moment.
Since 1996, Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers at 18th and Herring has been serving Waco's best burger. There's nothing better than a delicious burger cooked just the way you like it, with garden fresh toppings on a buttered bun. Add tots, fries, curly fries, or onion rings for a perfect meal. So what are you waiting on? How about Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers today? Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers is open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers. And don't forget to ask about Double R's catering. Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Morrison's Gifts, Waco's oldest family-owned gift store, wants to ask a question to the guys out there. Don't you just love gift giving? Does John Hart, Consuela, or Jellycats mean anything to you? If not, at Morrison's, we have your answers and your back. For 47 years, we have guided men and you ladies through the trauma of selecting the right gift for the right person. Come and see us at 4312 West Waco Drive in the Brazos Square Center, close to Jason's Deli. That's Morrison's Gifts, owned by a proud Baylor Bear.
All right, welcome back to the program. This is the Tom Barfield Show as we talk Central Texas sports and sports that Central Texans want to talk about. I just made up that line the other day. I kind of like that. I kind of like that. All right, let's welcome into the program Coach Marcus Willis of the La Vega Pirates. First of all, Coach, let me just first say this. Thank you so much for talking to us on a day in which you've got game planning and all kinds of fun stuff, and then you're going to go play tonight against Davenport.
Yes,
I really do appreciate you doing this.
Not a problem. I'm sorry I couldn't connect. It was having an issue with my microphone and my camera. I don't know what was going on, so I was trying to connect. So I apologize. No, it's a pleasure being on. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Let's talk about it. First of all, if I'm correct, this is your fourth straight appearance in the state tournament, and I think it's the program's ninth. Talk about it. I mean, this is a dynasty, right? I mean, you have this. That's what we've got built here, don't we?
I think we can rightfully say that. We worked very hard, to continue to keep the culture and the tradition of excellence at La Vega. Of course, it was there well before me. We're just blessed to be able to continue that tradition of excellence, and it feels really good to be able to fight for a state championship for the fourth time in a row.
What has been the secret sauce? I mean, about building? Is it culture? I mean, is it the right combination of kids? And of course it's great coaching. We know that. But I mean, what has been 4 straight years? That's big time. So what has been the secret sauce, if you will?
I don't know if there's secret sauce, but God is great and God is amazing. So if there's secret sauce, then we better get to it. But if it's not for him, of course, none of this happens. I just think it's a collective of everything that you just talked about, Tom. Great culture, great staff, great players, great administration, just a great district that allows us to continue to do what we do. So I think when all cylinders start clicking, and we're able to coach and play with freedom, love, and joy, and you have the village behind us that we have, good things can happen.
Coach, I know that early in the year, particularly in your non-conference or non-district schedule, rather, you went out and played some folks. I mean, and I guess that prepares you not only for your district schedule, but it also prepares you for postseason. Is that why you go play that high caliber of competition?
Oh, absolutely. Especially losing the volume of kids that we lost, and what we lost last year. We had some youngsters that had to fill some roles that we really, really needed them to kind of figure some things out early to be able to make a deep postseason run. So we try to strategize that to play some high level teams in the preseason. So that way we see every challenge before we get to it. And we're hoping and praying that we could, withstand adversity and win six games in the postseason.
Talk to us a little bit about your roster and how that roster is kind of molded together as a team. You mentioned you lost several players to, obviously the graduation, but so how has this roster come together and kind of how has it kind of unfolded and who's doing what for your team?
Well, once again, we lost 5 seniors, but we have 4 this year. So we do have some veteran leadership that has been a part of some of these state championships, and of course, been part of my culture for a while. And then some of my younger kids have also been a part of this culture, but just starting getting equipped with it. So two of the dominant, two of the most dominant guards in the state of Texas. Definitely arguably better to some of the best guards in 4AD1 with Samaria Kelly and Reed Kinsey. So they definitely help shift our gears to keep us going. And so when you have, a walking 50 points a night right there, in any given time, and then you have additions like, KK Funderburk was a junior. She came on last year, was a newcomer of the year, had a phenomenal year last year, and having an even more phenomenal year this year. So when you have those three that can combine for 50, 60 points a night, and they're playing and they're clicking, they're playing defense, on the defensive side as well too. It could be a hard night for other teams. And so these are just three. And then you have other kids like, Kimura, which is a senior. So she's been through, the fire, as far as, starting as a freshman platform and now having her time as a senior. And Parker Minute is another senior, which is a glue kid, Tom. Like everybody got to have a Parker Minute on your roster. And so she does everything that, other kids just don't do. So you have those kids, that are really, really helping. And then you got your youngster, your ways with, Lay Huckabee, a freshman, Sanaya King, a freshman, B Horn, a sophomore, and Mama Spratt, a sophomore. You got kids like that are just coming in and just giving us phenomenal minutes and doing their job. So, I mess with this group all the time because it's a very interesting group. But also a fun group at the same time, and they become sponges to us. They bought in, and now here we are, in the best week of high school basketball, fighting for a state championship.
Visiting with Marcus Willis, the head basketball coach of the La Vega Pirates. They played tonight in the state semifinals against Davenport. You hit on something a second, Coach. You talked about the culture and that type of thing, but the fact that you have played 4 straight years. I mean, so even though they may not have been on the varsity club, but your younger kids, your 8th graders, your sophomores, your kids that were on freshman and JV, they've been around it. They kind of got a taste of what this is about, and that's big, isn't it? As you continue to go along year after year after year.
This is huge, and this is a small example of this. B Horn and Mama Spratt, they were sophomores, but they were freshmen last year, so they were able to travel with us at the state championship run. So they were with us, But I got a little youngster, a sub-varsity kid that's with us as well too. Actually, two, Janiyah Walton and Michaela Mitchell. But Janiyah Walton was a ball retriever a couple of years ago when we won state.
That's
And
awesome.
so hats off, they didn't do it this year, but a couple of years ago they started the ball retrievers, Tom, and what Janiyah was a ball retriever within the 2024 state championship, and we won it. So she got a taste of how it felt even before she was even able to be on a roster, because at that time she was an 8th grader. And so here she is, a sophomore, and with us and had a great year on the sub varsity and having a good little session right now with us in varsity. And we're expecting for her to once again continue the tradition next year. So, being able to get that experience that they're getting right now, I think it helps us continue the state championship runs year after year too.
Coach, talk about your opponent tonight. Davenport High School, you're going to play tonight. I believe at 7 o'clock down in Leander at Rouse High School. Kind of break down your opponent tonight and what you're looking for in tonight's ball game.
I'm sorry, that's my fault. I don't have it on D&D, so I missed the last question you asked.
I was just asking you about your opponent at Davenport tonight. Kind of break down, give us a thumbnail scouting report on Davenport and what you see in their club as you play them tonight at 7 down in Leander.
Very, very scary. Davenport has been in that district with Fredericksburg, year after year, and they fight for each other. Normally they fight again in the regional finals, but Fredericksburg went Division II this year, and Davenport got a chance to try to open that door. It's our job to remain it closed tonight. Very well coached. You know, he coaches them very hard. Coach Johnston. He's got two really good kids. You know, a solid slasher forward type of kid that can really, score in the paint, rim run very well, rebound very well, and a lot of actions go through her. Number two can really shoot the ball, Tom. If you let this kid set her feet, I mean, she can light it up. So those two kids we're definitely going to have to stop for. 11-0. Really, really run the floor really well. And they rebound well. So I think it's the small things tonight, and it's definitely slowing 2 and 3 down.
Coach, thanks. We again very happy for you. Thank you so much for spending some time with us here on game day. And you know what? Let's do this again right before
Sure.
you play for that state championship. You want to?
Yeah. No, that sounds good. That sounds good. Hey,
That's awesome.
I'll be more prepared. Maybe I can sit in my office this time. I have another interview at 11 and then one at 11:20. So I'm back to back to back. So no, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And let's do it again. Let's do it again. So Friday
Yeah.
at 5 p.m. Hopefully, if God says the same, we'll take care of business tonight. We'll be playing for a 4-state championship. Or an opportunity to play for a 4-state championship on Friday at 5 o'clock. So let's do it.
All right, Coach. Thanks. Hey, appreciate your time. Go get them tonight.
Thanks. Be blessed. Appreciate you.
See you later.
Yes, sir.
Is he not fun?
Oh, he's a great guy.
He is absolutely fun. And you know what? If you've been looking at some of the scores, Lark Smith is alongside. Have you been? Been checking out some of their scores?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they are not only winning games; they are absolutely dominating games.
Yes, well, I had a chance to watch a couple of by-district games in girls basketball, and from those games, I can tell you that girls basketball has become a lot more aggressive than what I've seen some in the past, especially the Cedar Hill team that Midway played. They were running over people. It's a lot different game than what it used to be. Of course, then again, I grew up watching the 6-girl game where they were playing half court.
Well, yeah, with a square ball, but I mean, they're as athletic as you could imagine. This Lavega team, they're going to get the ball and they're going to put it in the hole. I mean, that's and he coaches them hard and he coaches them well, and I think that's why when you put that combination of terrific athletes, well coached, and the desire to win, that's why they are in a position to win. And you know what? He said he's got 2 more interviews. Good for him. Good for the program. Good for La Vega High School. Good for Willie Williams, the AD, and Don Hyde, the assistant AD, head football. Good for those guys. I mean, they well deserved. When you accomplish these type of things, you deserve that credit. You deserve that notoriety. We you know what? We hope we can find a place to get him into the program and talk about a championship on Monday or whatever. So,
absolutely.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
You and I have watched that La Vega program kind of grow, and for me, it kind of seemed to really take off when former university coach Leroy Coleman, he retired at university, sat out a year, and then went over and helped his good friend Willie Williams as an offensive line coach. And that's just kind of when that winning tradition started. And now that Willie has been kicked upstairs to athletic director, Don Hyde's been able to keep that winning tradition in football, and it's carried over to all the other programs.
We're running a little late here, but I wanted to get this point in. When La Vega won a football state championship and Willie Williams was being interviewed on the field after the game, I about started to cry when he started thanking the people that he needed to thank.
Yes.
And he mentioned Tommy Allison, the head coach at Robinson. He mentioned Mark Bell, the head coach at the time at China Spring. And he mentioned those guys in the district.
Ray Biles.
And Ray Biles at Lorena. And just because those men, they're football coaches, but they're also mentors, and they also are there to prepare young men. And he had such great respect for them, and they had such great respect for him. Yes, they competed hard on the field.
Sure.
That's what they're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
But they also had a camaraderie that was very special in that district. And you know what? I'll never forget watching that on television when Willie did that, and I was blown away.
Yeah, those coaches still talk fondly of 17-3A.
Absolutely. Hey, we're presented by Toking, and we're brought to you today by Morrison's Gifts, Waco's oldest family-owned gift store, and they want you to know that they've got all the gifts that you're significant other might need, guys. And you're saying, well, I don't know what that is. Well, you don't need to know. You know who knows? Sally knows. And all you got to do is check them out at 4312 West Waco Drive in the Brazos Square Shopping Center next to Jason's Deli, or right down the strip center from Jason's Deli. And she can help you. I mean, I've done it a million times. Go in there and say, Sally, help. It's Mother's Day, or it's my wife's birthday, or, or I messed this one up and I need to get out of jail. So, she can certainly help you, whether it's Consuela, John Hart, Jellycats, and all those kind of cool things. They can help you with that. In fact, the store's so much bigger than it was several years ago. They've literally moved a couple of doors down to get more space and give you more opportunity to shop. And so it's a really cool place. So check them out when you get a chance. 47 years of helping Wacoans do their shopping and Central Texans do their shopping. It is Morrison's Gifts. All right, we take the break right here from Collectum on Austin Avenue, and we're coming right back to more of the Tom Barfield Show in just a moment.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
Not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farm, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Hi, I'm Mitch, the co-founder of Cake, a sexual health and wellness company designed for today and designed for you. Yes, you. The entire product line can be found at hellocake.com, and it's also available in every Walmart near you.
All right, welcome back in. This is the Tom Barfield Show, the Tuesday edition. We're glad you're with us, and we are brought to you by Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers. 18th and Herring. They're open Monday through Friday from 10 until 4:30. They're open on Saturdays from 10 until 2 o'clock. Burgers just the way you like. You know why? They don't cook it until you place the order. That's there's no heat lamps for Double R. They don't roll that way. So all the stuff. If you want lettuce and tomatoes, you want grilled onions, you want jalapenos, jalapenos, any of that kind of stuff, they'll take care of you there at Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers, 18th and Herring.
Do they have bacon?
They do have bacon, and you would know.
Yeah.
So yes, you can do that, and again, you can have a shake, you can have a glass of tea, you can have a soft drink, whatever you want. And again, they're open for you there, starting at the 10 a.m. So they're open now. If you want to go have an early lunch, so you can check them out at 18th and Franklin, and tell them that we sent you by. And you know what? If you got a big event coming up, I know we're getting into wedding season. If you want, if you need a caterer, trust me. And if you want burgers, they'll cater burgers. But if you want turkey and dressing, you can have that as well. They will cater anything, and they've got an extensive menu for their catering. And David will be happy to walk you through all that.
I had them cater a class reunion once.
Really?
At Spiegelville.
What'd y'all eat?
Burgers.
Okay. Well, yeah. And I was in sales over at Intech for a long time, and that's what we had them a couple of times do that for us. All right. Let's get to the sports news of the day. McLennan. We talked McLennan at the top of the show, but baseball, softball, men's basketball, women's basketball, all in America's top 25. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they got everything going out there under their athletic director, Sean Trokum. She's got a lot of good things happening. And again, the baseball team won 14-11 yesterday. We mentioned yesterday that the softball team's kind of taken a sabbatical for a couple of weeks because they couldn't find anybody to play in between the end of conference play and the end of non-conference and the start of conference play. But conference play does start this week, starts on Wednesday for the MCC baseball team at home against Grayson. Your schedule says that it's supposed to be at Grayson, but they flip-flopped it due to weather. All right. There's also some soccer going on tonight around the Central Texas area. Midway's girls soccer team, a chance to win the district championship as they take on Bryan tonight. They go in 10-0 in conference play. Bryan is 9-1, so a win for Midway there gets them the district title. Also, there's a girls soccer game at Paul Tyson Field tonight between Waco and Ellison. Waco High with a win there can secure a spot in the postseason. University is also playing, but they're on the road at Chaparral, and I believe they also have a chance to secure a playoff spot with a win tonight. On the boys' side of soccer in the District 12 6A, the Midway boys are 6-0-4. They're taking on Bryan tonight at Midway. A good chance for Midway to pick up another win there. Also in District 16 5A in boys soccer, you got Waco High playing at Ellison. Waco High at 4-2-2. They've got a chance to get into the postseason. Ellison is winless. They're 0-8, so a good chance for Waco High to pick up another win. And the University boys are at home at Waco ISD Stadium tonight, taking on Chaparral. The University boys are 4-2-2 in soccer action. Junior college baseball today, the Hill Rangers, or the Hill
Rebels.
Oh, those guys. They're taking on Ranger today.
The Rangers.
Yes. Yeah. They're taking on Ranger today at Hill to start conference competition there. Wednesday, Temple will open their conference season against Vernon on the road at Vernon. JUCO softball. The Temple girls are at Paris for a doubleheader today. Also, the Hill girls are taking on Texas Lutheran at Texas Lutheran. There's some baseball going on around the Central Texas area. High school baseball. La Vega is hosting Clifton, and Mart is at home against Bruce Villetti. And then there's also several high school softball games going on in the area tonight as Midway is taking on Harker Heights. Temple is at Shoemaker. Cove is at Killeen. Robinson is taking on University tonight at the complex out there on, where is that? Bagby and, anyway, the Waco ISD complex.
Okay.
What do they call that?
They call it the Waco ISD complex. Athletic complex.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway, Robinson University playing there, and Isabella Mathis has a 10-game hitting streak for Robinson going into that game. Also, you got Waco High hosting Conley and China Spring at McGregor. That's just some of the things going on that you need to go out and watch.
Absolutely. I mean, the one thing that drives me nuts when people say there's nothing to do in Waco or Central Texas. Well, Lark just gave you a laundry list of some fun things to go do. Check them out. All right, we will take a break right here. We'll come back and look ahead to tomorrow's program. We'll do that in just a moment. We're brought to you in part by Waco Body Men, 116 Mary Avenue, Suite 1, and also by Jasper's Barbecue, 105 Clifton and Elm Street. Thanks to Lance Payne for being a part of the program. We take the break. We're back to look ahead to Wednesday. We'll do that when we continue on the Tom Barfield Show in just a moment.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
It's It's not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farm, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Hi, I'm Mitch, the co-founder of Cake, a sexual health and wellness company designed for today and designed for you. Yes, you. The entire product line can be found at hellocake.com, and it's also available in every Walmart near you.
All right, welcome back. We'll look ahead to tomorrow where Chris Berry will join us and talk McLennan softball. Kyle Yeomans, the Midway grad who works for the Dallas Cowboys and is a part of the Dallas Cowboys broadcast team, will join us. We'll get caught up on do they have a kicker? Do they not have a kicker? Do they have a wide receiver? Do they not have a wide receiver? We'll do all that fun stuff with Kyle Yeomans on the program tomorrow. Many thanks to Collectum again here in Waco on Austin Avenue for hosting us this week as we get our digs going. We'll get our digs going and be in our new studio soon. So anyway, if you will have a show suggestion, you can email me if you like. It's tom@roguemedianetwork.com. tom@roguemedianetwork.com. This is your show. We want it to be about what you want us to talk about. So you can do that. The program, if I understand it correctly, this afternoon, maybe after lunch sometime, will also be available audio-wise wherever you get your favorite podcast. I've always wanted to say that wherever where it's isn't that kind of cool? Yeah. Spotify, Apple Podcast, wherever you get your favorite podcast, you can get the audio portion of this program. Again, we're off and running. This is day 2, and we got some growing pains. We're going to figure some things out, but I think it's fun. I love talking about the people of Central Texas who do this thing and that we call sports, and it's just a lot of fun, and look forward to it. And we'll also update you on Baylor baseball on it. Derek and I will be in Stephenville tonight to bring you the baseball game on radio. So there you go. All right, he's Lark. I'm Tom. For the rest of the Rogue Media crew, thanks for watching, and we'll do it again tomorrow.